Well, hello there, everybody. It is me, Countess, back with another tarot reading. And I just wanted to give a sort of brief introduction to this tarot reading because this topic actually was suggested to me in the dream realm, if you will. And I know that sounds totally weird, but just the other night, I slept like the best I've ever slept in my life. And it's really weird. And I actually had a very vivid dream of this beautiful lady. She almost looked like, kind of like Lady Godiva, but without the horse, just beautiful flowing hair. And she was just like iridescent and beautiful, and I don't know where she came from or what the context was exactly, but I remember she kind of like floated towards me and said, "You should ask about how Paul McCartney feels about this whole situation." And that was it. That's all. That's what I remember. I remember she kind of like disappeared, and then I woke up not too long after that. So this was, of course, an experience that I then wrote in the back of the book, like they encourage you to. If you have any sort of interactions in the dream world with Paul or Billy, and this was not a direct interaction with them, but it was a sort of suggestion. And I don't know if that was like my higher self. I would like to think I looked like she looked, but I don't know if it was something like that that was, relaying the message to me or what it was. But yeah, so I couldn't ignore it, and I definitely felt compelled to sit down and see what the cards had to say. I mean, this came from somewhere, right? Telling me I needed to, consider Paul's feelings in all of this, and maybe see if we can channel him through the cards to see how he currently feels about all of this stuff going on, like with his integration with William and whatnot. So I am going to be using my Beatles tarot deck, and I've only ever done 2 other readings with this deck. One of those readings was back in on September 11th of last year. I sat down, not really seriously thinking that I could get any sort of answer that Paul would speak to me through, the cards, but we got a confirmation of his death story that night. Very eerie, and I think it's only natural that we ask him. This is his name that is being slapped on all of Billy's material, right? He has a say in it, and even in the memoirs, we get Paul's perspective through Billy. So I thought, yeah, well, let's listen to what the lady said and see what the cards have to say about how Mr. Paul McCartney, number 9, feels about his integration with Mr. William Shepherd to become Billy McCartney. I'm even wearing my alchemy shirt today, guys, to kind of channel the vibes of that happening. So anyways, if you guys are interested in this and just want to see what the cards have to say, again, for fun, and see if we get an answer of some sort, I will see you on the other side. Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to my table. Old friends and new. As you know, all of you are most welcome here. So let's begin using my Beatles tarot deck, which the last time I used this deck was when I attempted to see if Paul wanted to communicate with us on the anniversary of his death back on September 11th, 2023. And in that reading, he basically confirmed his death to us. And so, like I said in the intro, today I just want to see if Paul is around. He can use this deck. It has every single member of his band in the deck, from Stuart Sutcliffe and Pete Best to Billy. So they're all there. And what I find funny too about this deck is that they have the Magician as Sir George Martin, and they have the High Priestess as Mr. Brian Epstein. Very interesting, associating those people with those archetypes. It's very fitting, actually. So, so these cards are just huge. I can't hand shuffle the whole deck in one go, so I got to split it up. All right, Paul, tell us how you feel right now. How do you feel about all of this, the soul transmigration, the truth being revealed, the fictional memoirs of your counterpart, Mr. William Shepard, to blend into him and make the one and only Mr. Billy McCartney. How do you feel about all this, Paul? Just use the cards, use the images in the cards. Use them to talk to us like you have in the past. How do you feel currently? Channel through the cards. Like I said, this is your chance. I feel it in my gut that there's just so much information that wants to come out, especially from Mr. McCartney. Mr. Number 9. How do you feel about all of this? Just curious to see, if you have anything to say. Anything at all to say to the cards, through the cards to us. How do you feel about this whole situation of you channeling your talent and musicianship and creativity through William? How does that make you feel? Are you still around? Are you still with William? Are you still inspiring him and driving him? Just interested to see what the cards are going to say today. Okay, I think we're about ready. Let me just do one hand shuffle for each, and then I think we'll be about ready to go. How do you feel, Paul? How do you feel about all of this? Okay. All right, guys, let's check it out. So we begin with the Queen of Pentacles as Linda. We have the Seven of Wands. Interesting. Okay. We have the Chariot in reverse. We have the King of Cups in reverse. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, interesting that we start with a Queen, end with a King in reverse. The Chariot in reverse. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. We've got the Four of Cups. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Hermit in reverse under the Chariot in reverse. Then we have the Page of Cups. Very interesting. Ooh, that's a cool card. Look how uncanny. This Danny looks just like George. What a great picture. I love this. I love the like collage vibe here that some of these images are very strange, but others are very fitting and very cool. So if we look at the spread, wow, I'm already seeing a theme here, which is very interesting. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles, we start with her, Miss Linda, the lovely Linda. She represents comfort, security. She represents somebody who is very stable in all aspects, emotionally, you know, with material wealth. She is very happy, very secure with herself, and also generous. She is known to be a very generous archetype in the deck because of her wealth and security. Interesting. So we move into the Seven of Wands, and this is this card is like all about, you know, fighting for what you believe in, you know, and as far as feelings go, this would be like you're feeling like you have to stick to your principles. You will not budge. You will not sell out. You won't change your beliefs for anything. You know, it's also showing, which I find very, very, very interesting. You know, this individual, Ringo has the stick in this card. He is basically standing his ground. You know, he's standing up for himself, but he's also showing boundaries. You know, he feels like he wants to fight through those boundaries that have been set. You know, like he can't be restricted, or he can't be bonded to anything. He wants to break free, basically. He does not want to be bound or restricted to anything or anyone. And that is in tow with the confidence and security that is felt from this card. Moving on, though, with the Chariot in reverse. So I see so much symbolism in the Chariot being in reverse. You know, the Chariot, I think of immediately as a vehicle. So looking at the Chariot, it is, when it's upright, it is showing a sort of moving on, you know, getting ready to move forward and progress. When it's in reverse, it signals inner conflict of some sort. It's an inability to move on. You know, you want to break free, but there's some sort of block preventing that. And it's making him upset. It's making him feel disconnected. It's making him feel, he basically, and it's very strange because these are like total opposites. You know, you're talking about security and stability. And with the King of Cups in reverse, you're talking about apathy, insecurity, and a disconnection, basically wanting to have that disconnection of some sort. That is the major theme of this entire spread, because when we get down to this row, you know, starting with the Four of Cups. So usually this card will symbolize, you know, you're not paying attention to what the divine is presenting to you. You're turning you're turning your cheek to it. You're choosing to be self-absorbed with your eyes closed, not wanting to receive the blessings that God or the universe want to give to you. This shows disconnection. In tow with this, in tow with this. You know, even the Chariot in reverse can show a sort of, you know, there's just that major theme here. Disconnection, you know, missed opportunities. There's a sort of indifference to this card, which ties into the King of Cups when he is in reverse. Almost apathetic, you know. And it could be the security and the, you know, you're secure in the material world. And that's causing a sort of like cockiness or attitude that is causing you to not pay attention to the spiritual or to what the divine is presenting to you. So disconnection. Again, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This card is all about boredom, you know, being burnt out. There's a feeling of being stuck. You're stuck where you are and you're trying to break free. That goes in tow with the Chariot in reverse, being stuck, unable to move forward. And this is all he wants to do. So basically, I'm wondering, well, I'll hold my wonders for after I'm done with the cards. So let's move on to the Hermit in reverse. Excuse me. Oh, and I forgot to point out, we do have 2 sevens on the table. And usually sevens represent the sort of spiritual, the higher self. Very interesting, since we're talking and trying to ask Paul to tell us how he feels about all of this. The Hermit in reverse tells us everything we need to know. He feels, again, lonely, disconnected from people, disconnected from, you know, what was meant for him. Unwanted isolation. This isolation was thrust upon him, and he's unable to move on. Maybe he wants to leave Billy and move on to the spirit world, you know, but he's not able to. He wants to break free. He wants to get out because he's like over it. He doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. He's ready to gain that emotional fulfillment, you know, that the Page of Cups is willing to bring. But he's unable to because he's not open. This card is all about being open, you know, being open to whatever emotional goodness is coming your way. But with the King of Cups in reverse on top of him, it is blocking that openness. It is, you know, blocking that willingness and readiness to give yourself to somebody. He can't do it. And he's fighting to do it. He longs to do it. Wow. He's just not having any of it, though. So, major theme in this tier especially already is Paul feels disconnected and he's ready to move on, but cannot move on just yet. Okay, we have the 2 of Wands. Another 9, the 9 of Swords in reverse. And that is just very eerie. But the Hermit is the number 9. Okay, so we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Well, it's interesting. We got a 9 and a 6, right? Right next to each other. Okay. Ooh, the 8 of Wands. The Ace of Cups. Another 2, the 2 of Pentacles. So we have the 2 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles, the beginning and the end, highlighting in the numerology a duality. There is a dualistic theme here. But the major theme is still disconnect. So, you know, the Two of Wands is showing, you know, like you're ready to take on the world. You're ready to embark on your journey. You know, in the Rider-Waite-Smith cards, it shows the man in between the two wands looking outwards with the world in his hands. You know, he's making plans for the future. But the Nine of Swords in reverse, you know, usually the Nine of Swords will represent, when it's upright, you know, anxiety and all of the stuff that just fills your soul with dread, right? Well, the Nine of Swords in reverse is kind of signaling that all of the fears and anxieties, they may come to pass. You know, you'll eventually get over it. It's just very interesting. We can look at this card as a sort of, you know, all of your worst fears and anxieties that have kept you up, you know, in your plans for the future, they're subsiding. So, you know, when this card is in reverse, unlike it's, you know, the Ten of Swords in reverse, where it's like a never-ending horrible cycle that just keeps going on and on, the Nine of Swords in reverse shows that those fears and that anxiety that you were feeling are lifting, and that's all good. But we get to the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and it's not good. This is showing, you know, this is the card of charity and of generosity. It is the card of giving as much as you are receiving. In reverse, it is showing that it is a one-sided affair and that somebody is getting more than the other in the situation. That's very interesting. And that could have been a sort of fear or anxiety that he had, you know, when he was thinking about the future, when he was thinking about what was going to happen to him. But we're talking about the present and how he feels. And from this row right here, it shows me that things aren't great. He doesn't feel like he is given enough credit. He kind of feels like Billy has taken over. That's what this tells me. Going down to the Eight of Wands under, you know, the Two of Wands. But the Eight of Wands is showing these like fast messages that are coming through. You know, they're urgent and they are necessary to be heard. And that could be dependent on whatever plans you're making for the future. I don't know. The Ace of Cups is showing a new opportunity. My cup runneth over of beautiful emotions because these fears and anxieties have been lifted. You know, again, it's a message of positivity. My cup runneth over, right? And with the Two of Pentacles next to it, it's showing a balance, you know, a balance of that stability. But with the Six of Pentacles in reverse above it, and the dualistic theme of the number 2 being at play here, I have to take into consideration that the balance is not happening. This card is all about the scales, and the scales are not even. And that is what these two cards aligned are telling me, that he feels as though Billy sort of took over and doesn't give him or his past, his, you know, his whole story enough credit. That's what this one tells me. So next we're going with the Ten of Cups in reverse. Yikes. The Sun in reverse. Oh, he is not happy. Guys, He is not happy one bit. Holy Pete. I mean, the Sun is the card of happiness. And then when it's in reverse, oh boy, we have the Page of Swords in reverse. And we have the Three of Pentacles. Interesting. We get this card a lot when we're talking about Billy and these people. Ten of Cups in reverse right there, guys, is showing that there is no fulfillment. Paired with the Sun in reverse, Paul is very unhappy. Why is he unhappy? Because Billy has taken over and has, you know, not honored Paul like he feels he should have throughout his career, taking on Paul's McCartney name. And he also feels a total disconnect, and he's ready to move on. He's ready to be free. That Seven of Wands tells us, in the first here, tells us that he is ready. He wants to be boundless, basically. You know, and these two cards right here sum up the entire spread. Very unhappy, not having it anymore. The Page of Swords in reverse is showing, again, a block in clarity. There's an indecisiveness, sort of, and that is paired in with this emotional destitution, this emotional just depletion. Not good, not good. And the Three of Pentacles, this is the card of collaboration. It's the card of planning, right? And I find it just interesting that, you know, lack of clarity and the planning card would be next to each other, because those kind of seem to X each other out. That could be playing in, again, to the dualism in this spread. One side is Paul and one side is Billy, right? That's the dualism. The lack of clarity, but then you're seeing clearly into the future. There's the McCartney 3 die. Very interesting. So it's just showing me that he is very unhappy with the state of affairs, and that things didn't go as planned, as he had planned, as he had hoped. All right, guys. Well, let's pull the last card and we'll see what we end on. Very, very interesting. Page of Pentacles, guys. Burnout Central. Yes, he's done. His feelings currently in the spiritual realm, in, you know, whatever plane of existence he is on, talking through these cards, he's done. He's ready to move on, guys. Straight up, that's what all of these cards have said. He feels like Billy and his ego had just taken over the show, and there is a disconnect. He has total disconnect from the situation now and wants to be free. Yes. Thank you, Paul, for talking to us through the cards. That is it, guys, for this reading. Let me know your comments or your thoughts, rather, in the comments. If you saw something that I didn't see, let me know. If you interpret these in any different way than I did, let me know. Paul ain't having it, guys. He's ready to be free. He's ready to leave the mortal coil, as it were, when Billy passes. So that is the state of affairs according to the cards. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. As always, I thoroughly enjoyed doing the reading. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, guys, please take care of yourselves, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
For though they may be parted, there is still a chance built